In this presentation, we will discuss the enrollment process and the most important information about the student status. You initiate the enrollment process by completing and signing the enrollment form, which you must submit in duplicate to the student services. Before signing the registration form, make sure that your personal and training details are correct. If something is wrong, cross it out and write the correct information next to it. It is important that all information on the form is completed, including your TIE number, your tax identification number, and so on. Also, please read the statements on the document carefully, since you accept all of them with your signature. When the Student Services Administrator receives the form, he or she verifies that you have met these conditions and, if all is well, authenticates both of your enrollment forms, and your student status can be obtained on the day of this authentication. If the administrator finds an error, you must correct the errors immediately. In addition to filling out the enrollment form, you must also enter into a training contract. This is a contract between you and the university that includes the amount of tuition fee, the terms of payment, and if you have been admitted to a Corvinus scholarship, the scholarship information. If a third party pays your tuition fee, you still need to sign the training contract. This contract is part of your enrollment form, 2 copies of which are required, one of which is yours after it has been countersigned by the university. If your personal records have changed compared to the ones recorded on Neptune, please send the documents containing the new information to your study coordinator electronically and ask for an update in Neptune. Let's see once again under what conditions your student status relationship can be obtained. If you have an admission decision, participated in the enrollment event, filled out, signed and submitted the enrollment documents, you can obtain your student status. To keep your student status, you also need to register for an active semester and take at least 1 course. Activation is basically a statement you must make each semester. You declare at the beginning of the semester whether you want to continue your studies in that training period, that is called activation of the semester, or you want to pause, in other words, passivate the semester. You must activate the semester during the semester of enrollment, otherwise your student status will not be established. However, except for the first semester, you will have the option to make your semester passive during the registration period and skip the semester's education and exams. In this case, you don't have to pay the tuition fee, you don't get Corvinus scholarship, and you're not eligible for a student ID sticker. It is important that the study coordinator can also instruct you to go into passive status if you fail to register for the semester, do not settle your financial debt, or do not register to courses. It is important that after your second consecutive passive semester, you must activate your semester and register at least 1 course, otherwise you will lose your student status. So let's summarize how you can lose your already established student status. The termination of your student status can occur for several reasons. Termination by student request, termination due to transfer to another institution, termination due to payment errors, termination due to not accepting self-funded program costs by not signing the training contract within deadline. If it is relevant, the tuition fee will be announced after the end of the registration period and you must pay it within 8 days after the announcement. Termination due to disciplinary misconduct, therefore it is recommended to study the university's Code of Ethics and the student disciplinary and compensation regulations. Furthermore, your student status will be terminated if you fail to progress in your studies. These cases are as follows. You register for a given subject 2 times in a given training program and still fail to complete the subject. Your minimum cumulated credit-weighted study is below 2.5 per semester. Your first active semester is an exception. You fail to earn 15 credits in your first 2 successive active semesters. And, as mentioned earlier, you cannot have 3 consecutive passive semesters, so after the second consecutive passive semester, you must activate your semester and register to at least 1 course. Do not exceed the maximum training period available for completing your studies. If you are studying for a master's degree, earn the missing credits that are prescribed on a mandatory basis in credit recognition in the procedure of admission within a certain time. The number of unsuccessful exams for 1 subject must not reach 6. It is important that you can take an exam 3 times within 1 semester. The number of unsuccessful comprehensive exams must not reach 4. Complete at least 50% of the credits specified as a mandatory requirement for obtaining a diploma during the active semesters corresponding to the program duration of the given study program. In your training, do not exhaust the 3 attempts at passing the complex examination closing the given specialization or major in the given training program. To avoid these cases, please study your training program and study and exam regulations carefully.